Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Jessica Rabin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So a little bit about me. I am a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of South Carolina. I graduated with my PhD in 2018 and became fully licensed in 2019 after completing my postdoctoral fellowship. I currently work at a children's hospital where I have two different roles. So a day and a half a week, I work outpatient in our adolescent medicine clinic, providing traditional psychotherapy. And there I primarily focus on anxiety, depression, LGBTQ plus health, as well as eating disorders. Then the other 3.5 days a week, I work medical inpatient, and I work with children and teens of all ages and primarily see chronic illness as well as physical traumas and eating disorders. And I love working in a medical setting. I love working in a team, and I love focusing on the integration between physical health and mental health because we know the two are so integrated. And if your physical health is poor, your mental health can be poor, and vice versa. Research-wise, I have primarily focused on suicide and suicidal behaviors, as well as related constructs such as non-suicidal self-injury and depression. I also researched in the field of positive psychology and specifically focused on self-compassion, which is something I am really passionate about, teach my clients, and still use in my personal life today. Outside of all that, I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a dog mom. I love exercise and Sour Patch Kids and Reese's Pieces and music. I also create mental health content on social media. I have a TikTok and Instagram platform. Like many millennials, I downloaded TikTok as a joke during the pandemic, particularly the quarantine, and I found it was a really good platform to create mental health content. I also am the host of my podcast, Psych and co-host another podcast, Welcome to Group Therapy, with 3 of my friends, Dr. Justin Pooter, Dr. Kristen Casey, and licensed clinical social worker, Kristen Gingrich. And so why am I making a YouTube channel? I have found that social media is such a good way to increase access to mental health information, although it is definitely not a replacement for therapy. Destigmatize mental health, destigmatize what it means to go to therapy, destigmatize therapists, and add a more human side to us, because I understand that going to therapy can be really scary and really nerve-wracking because you're talking about things that may be really difficult for you. So I have my Instagram, I have my TikTok, and I have my 2 podcasts, but I felt like there was a gap that needed to be filled. So with my podcast, I'm talking or interviewing people or co-hosting on topics that we discuss for 30 minutes to 90 minutes. So we can dive really in depth. In contrast, on Instagram or TikTok, maybe TikToks or Reels are up to a minute long. Some are a little longer at 3 minutes on TikTok, or I'm making static posts on Instagram. And those, although they can get good basic information out, they can't really go as in-depth as, say, a 30-minute podcast, a 90-minute podcast. But then there are things that I feel like don't need a full podcast episode, but need more time than just a single Instagram or TikTok post. And that's what I plan on doing with my YouTube channel. Really, my idea right now is to answer some of the most frequently asked questions I get about being a psychologist, about mental health in general, that maybe need more than 1 to 3 minutes in a TikTok or Reel, but don't necessarily need a 30-minute podcast episode. So for example, some of the questions I get are about my journey to becoming a psychologist. Should I get a master's or a PhD? Should I get a PhD or a PsyD? What's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist? And those are all questions that can be answered. And I'm figuring if I'm getting a bunch of DMs about them pretty frequently, a lot of you may have the same questions. So that is my plan for this YouTube channel. I wanted to do a brief introduction video about who I am, what kind of content you would see on here, in addition to my YouTube shorts that I have uploaded already. And thank you for joining me on this journey. So subscribe, share any videos that you think would help other people, and I look forward to going along this journey with you.